First Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that it is even all one as if she were shaven. I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and sincerity. They steered us well and they rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. May the blessing of election be upon your house. This is the brother Zion Amawan coming at you with another lesson to feed the lambs through the Holy Spirit. Haracha Akodash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and to the point. In this lesson, we are going to get into feminism is going to be a wrap. Feminism is going to be a wrap, and that's going to be real soon, man. Because once they hit the lights, all right, and these lights get cut out, Yahweh Ba'Shem Awashai is going to restore back the proper order. You know, feminism and all of that was created by the so-called white man. All right, feminism was created by men. You know, to the point where a woman thinks that she's equal to a man, but a woman has been a weapon of detriment. All right, because they have been used as it. They have killed, disrespected, humiliated more so-called black men, you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American men, more than any other race on the face of the earth, man. All right, the so-called black woman, and these other nations of women as well. You know, but all of that feminism is gonna be a wrap, just like how they just put up that so-called statue of Big Shirley in New York. You know, feminism, and they did it on the week of so-called Mother's Day, man. So what does that tell you? That tells you that feminism is at an all-time high, that Queen of Heaven spirit. But the Lord is going to disannul all of that. He is going to make that a wrap pretty soon, man. Especially when they hit the lights, man. All right? That is when the natural order is going to be restored. First Corinthians 11 and 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. You see? That's the order. I'm not equal to Yahweh Shai, and a woman is not equal to a man. You know, I can't, be a sacrificial lamb for all the sins of Israel. I can't live without sin. That's impossible for me. You know, that's why I have a head. That's Yahweh Shai. You know, Yahweh Ba'Shem Awashai is my head, because I'm not equal to them and not trying to be. You know, like a woman can't lay her life down for the truth. She can't make her life a living sacrifice, make her body a living sacrifice. She don't have that reasonable service that a man can do to serve the Lord. She don't have that capability because it's not for her. You know? So in New York, they're going to put up this Big Shirley statue. Why not put up a statue of Jeremiah? Put up a statue of Yahweh Shai. Put up a statue of, of a renowned, man that actually put his life on the line for Yahweh Shema Shai, that actually did something for the Lord. You could have put a statue up for that, but you put a statue up for this damn Big Shirley, man. This loudmouth pit bull, man. All right. And even though the statue wasn't talking, it was still talking. You know, that statue looked like it wanted to say something, because Eve don't know when to shut the fuck up. You know, Let's keep moving on, man. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. You see? See, a lot of these women are asleep. They drunk off the Babylon juice because of feminism. You know? Look up the Willie Lynch litter and look up the feminism section. It's wave 1, 2, and 3, man. And it'll give you a nice little rundown of what's going on right now. You know? See, these women is drunk off the Babylon juice. They think they the prize. All right? A woman means servant. That's what a lot of women don't even understand nowadays. But they want a man to serve them. That's off. That is the most off thing. You should never, you know what I'm saying? A man, especially a man of the Lord, should never be a servant to his woman. You know? That is literally breaking natural order. It's supposed to be in a woman's nature, all right, to be a helpmeet. You know, but feminism taught them that they want their man to be a helpmeet to them and what they got going on. That's why you men should never let a woman make decisions for you. You should never let a woman just make a decision for you. Especially if you don't say nothing. You like, come on, huh? You got to say something. Because in your mind, you like, nah, I ain't feeling that. But you don't say nothing. And when she do something or do what she said she was going to do, she going to be like, nah, we talked about it. Whoop the bam. Like, nah, I ain't feeling that. You got to put your foot down and have a stand now. You know? But, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of these women ain't going to understand until these truths come across their head or they be dragged down some steps. They want to jump on the cop carousel, jumping from monkey branch to monkey branch. And the same thing that's going to make them laugh is going to make them cry, man. You know? Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. You know? These women are careless. They don't give a fuck. You know? They don't give a fuck to the point where they would destroy an entire house with their hands. You know? Ask your mama, ask your aunties and all that. Where's the men in the family at? Where your man at? Ask your mama where your daddy at. Everybody only care about the side and the story of the woman. But your story played out and we don't want to hear it no more, man. And the Lord don't want to hear it no more. That's why the Lord is really going to do something really bad, especially to you women. Because there is a very, 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 very few sincere sisters that actually believe and they're sincere. That's so few. Very small few. Even though it's more women than men. That's still a small number. But it's a big number. You know? Take notes. Understand what not to do. You know? Because these women out here is careless. You know? They passing diseases. They cheating. They don't give a fuck. You know? They mouth is wired up horrible. No accountability. And the list goes on. But all of that is going to change. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. And that's what's going to happen, man. They're going to be out here hurt. They ain't going to have no, no helpers, no bridegroom. Matter of fact, man, let's get that. Let's get it right quick. Second Ezra 16 and verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. You see, you're going to have a lot of women out here alone. Since you women want to be so independent, let's see how independent you going to be when all hell break loose and you a motherfucking target out here. You know? Because these men out here is thriving to catch you OnlyFans women out here, man. They're thriving. You know, they are thriving for that. You know? The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. See, a woman would rather have a child support check versus the father actually in their child's life. They'd rather take the check. You see how off that is? The Lord is going to change that. That's the spirit. The Lord is going to change that, man. All right. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. All those nothing ass niggas that they follow. All those nothing ass niggas with the so-called ID of what they like. Tattoos, dreads, gold teeth, and all this other weird shit. That's going to be a thing of the past, man. Feminism is going to be a thing of the past. These women going to be searching for men of the Lord. And a lot of these women not going to be in a candidate of Isaiah 4:1. A lot of these women gonna get motherfucking punched in the face, or they may just get about faced. See, a lot of these women that don't want to share their man and all that, they gonna get beat up in that day. These women gonna be like wolves on them, man. Straight up. They gonna be like wolves on them. Like a pack of wolves, they gonna jump them, man. Because, because the women that is going to be candidates of Isaiah 4:1, they're going to understand the importance of a man of the Lord. They're going to understand the importance of being in a hiding place. Because the man have to be in the hiding place under Yahweh Shema Shai, and that woman have to be in the hiding place under that man. You see that order? You know? Isaiah 32. No, Salakia. Isaiah 13. In verse 17. No, I go to verse 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. You hear that? So all of these women that, want to use box as a weapon, you're going to give up box until you give up the ghost. That's how the Lord going to do you. These women are sexualized. They going to die having sex. The same thing that make them laugh is going to make them cry, man. And a lot of these women are going to resort to eating their children. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. You hear that? So when these Medes, these so-called Russians, when they get over here, all right, even these other nations, man, because these other nations are over here as sleeper cells too. You got Russian sleeper cells, you got Chinese sleeper cells, all these other sleeper cells from these other nations. They're all over here right now. Like right now. They're just waiting for the call. The best time to really make everything pop off is when the lights go out. Because you can't record, you can't do nothing, you blind. That's like you getting crept in through the back door or something. And now the assailant is in the house, but they went in through the window. They didn't go in through the front door. These other nations gonna come in through the side window, man. And a lot of you women gonna be right there, big titties, fat old ass, all that's gonna be rumbling until you give up the ghost. Point blank, period. And a lot of you women gonna be getting pregnant by these damn soldiers, man. Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, shall not delight in it. So they're not gonna care about your money. They're not gonna care about your riches, bribery or anything. See, America, all right, and the so-called black woman predominantly, but all of these damn women, they all in the same boat. You know, they all in the same boat. Every last one of them. See, what's going to happen is they're going to meet a person in Jacob's trouble that may so-called, give them some food or get them some type of so-called safety. All right. And next thing you know, he going to have them scared in the corner eating the food. And she going to be like, I'm a woman, I'm hungry. And he going to be like, shut the fuck up before I knock your ass out. And he going to kill that whole plate. Feminism ain't going to mean shit in that day. These women are going to be targets. Isaiah 32 and verse 2. A man shall be as a hiding place. You hear that? It says a man shall be as a hiding place. All of that women knocking out dudes and all this type of shit, man. That shit is, man. They're not going to do that in that day. They're going to want to play the low-key route and be modest and be humble and stay out the way. They're not going to try to play the forefront with their mouth all wide, screaming and hooping and hollering and just doing what the fuck they want to do. They ain't going to be doing that in that day. It takes, it have to take the lights to go off. And this is how you know that the Lord is going to really do something really, really bad in Jacob's trouble to these damn women and to these unbelievers and these wicked people out here. Because look at what the Lord is letting go on. That's how you know he got something cooked up, something scandalous for Babylon. That's how you know. A man shall be as a hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. You hear that? So feminism, all right, is not in the scripture right here. All right. It says a man shall be as a hiding place from the destruction. All right. From Jacob's trouble, as far as like not being taken by it, you'll be able to sustain. You'll be able to endure. You'll be able to have your mind, your wits. You ain't going to be bugged out like everybody else out here, man. They going to get caught like a thief in the night. For 119 years, everybody thought that it wasn't going to rain in the time of Noah. 119 years. And when on that 120th, all right, and they seen that rain drop, everybody want to start beating on the side of that ark. Like, nah, you got it. And you know that Noah was probably talking shit. I told you. That's probably why these niggas scared to get wet in the rain, man, because they probably died in a damn flood. But anyway, a man is going to be as a hiding place from the destruction. All right. Point blank, period. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to give infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders. A great millstone. Shalom to the elect. We on the next one. Abaratazah. Shalom.